Hey, what's up everyone? I can't get my phone to screen record, so I just decided to do a black screen video. This is going to be about dreams, and particularly lucid dreams, or dreams where you're aware basically that they're a dream. So I had about 3 or 4, maybe even more of these dreams where it's like I left my body and went to these places where I was aware that it was a reality slightly different than what I'm living in, if you want to call this reality, whatever's going on. But I I was in the kitchen in one of them, and I noticed that things are slightly off, and I said, wait a minute, this doesn't seem right. Oh well, I brushed it off, then I moved further, and then I said, this isn't right. I was like, the fridge is taller. This is not right. I'm dreaming, aren't I? And then immediately I would close my eyes, and I would make a fist, both arms, both hands, and clench my fists, and all of a sudden wake up in the bed. I would wake up in the bed, and in that position with clenched fists. Well, then I laid down. I got up after that happened a couple of times. Then I went to the couch and laid down and fell asleep on the couch. Then I started having those lucid dreams again. And I would be walking around and I would go, wait a minute, this is off. And then I'd be like, well, this is off of the sink. This is not right. That's not right. And I would notice slight differences in the position of things, which would make me realize that it wasn't real. And I would say, I'm dreaming, and immediately I'd go back to my body. And immediately, the moment I closed my eyes in the dream, the moment I realized, or when I was getting close to something, I would come out of it and go back to my body. This happened several nights ago, probably Tuesday. And each and every time sometimes in the climactic point of the dream, where something huge was about to happen, or I was about to make a big discovery, or pick something up and read it, like I'll notice there's a letter here. I'm like, that's not right. There's not a letter there. Where'd this letter come from? And I go to pick it up, and as I'm about to read it, the strange thing is you can't remember. A lot of times you can't remember the things that you read in dreams. The things that you saw. You can't remember if they're words. You have a hard time remembering them, and a lot of times they're in some other language. Sometimes Latin or whatever. At least that's the experiences that I've had regarding them. And I remember witnessing that there was a letter, and I went to pick it up, and as I was trying to read it, I was like, this isn't right. I'm dreaming. And then as I continue to read, as I start to read, continue to look at this letter, and I start to read it, I wake up, and I'm on the couch. And another thing is, last weekend, Saturday, or actually it was Thursday and Saturday, those days went by so slowly. And someone else in my family even said the same thing, and I was like, yeah, that's what I said, and Mama said. And apparently my cousin felt that way, and my aunt felt that way, and my Nana felt that way. Daddy did as well. So Thursday and Saturday went by very slowly. And Mama saw a lot of 222s a couple of days ago. She said she happened to look at the clock, and it was 222, and we're like, well, what does all this mean? And we've been witnessing a lot of synchronicities. Once again, it's all starting. When I was in school, I witnessed 1111 a lot, and when I was in school, she used to witness 2s and 222 and 4, 3, 4, and 5, but especially 2s and 3s she would witness when I was in high school. And she said back in 2011, 2012, she witnessed it, and we didn't know why. We knew it was something. It meant something. We know it doesn't happen for nothing, but we didn't know what, and still really don't know what the answer to it is. But in these dreams, I'm able to sometimes control what's going on, or I'm able to, once I realize that it's just a dream, I actually literally wake up right then in my body. So what happened was I realized, well, this is off, and then I said, wait a minute, oh well, just brushed it off. Kind of like we do in reality, or in, well, whatever you want to call this, in real life, I guess you'd say. And kind of like we do here, we'll look at something and say, well, that's off. How did that get there? But it's kind of like it happened in the dream. And then I would notice something was off, and I would say, well, I guess it's one of those things. And then I'd say, wait a minute, this can't be right. That's way too off. We don't have this. And then all of a sudden, I would realize, oh, I'm dreaming. This isn't real. This is off. And every time I'd realize something was off, like I was literally in a simulation. That's it. That's it. I was in a simulation. And everything that was around me, it was a simulation situation. I say that a lot. But everything around me, I was aware that this was off or that was off, and that wasn't right. So then all of a sudden, each time I said that, oh, okay, this isn't real, I would wake up. I would immediately pull out of that dream, and I would be back in my body here on the couch, and then I would just raise up, turn over, and go back to sleep and start the whole process over again. But I know sometimes when you leave your body, when you dream and leave your body, it's like Sylvia Brown said, you leave your body multiple times a week and astrally travel. But here's the thing, I have known about that and witnessed it and had that happen my entire life. I've had deeper things on a deep spiritual level that it's like, I don't even want some of that, then boom, there it is. It's like, I don't even want this to happen, but then there it is. You can't stop it, you can't help it, it's just a part of you. It's like, sometimes you're like, why can't I just be this, that, or the other? But it is what it is. As the phrase that Jerry Seinfeld doesn't hate, he said, no, I thought it is what it wasn't, what it isn't. But I've witnessed these things throughout my life, the synchronicities, the numbers, with the numbers and things like that, repetitive repeating numbers, angel numbers, whichever you want to call it. And where you'll realize that you're in a dream and you can literally wake yourself up. Sometimes I'll say, okay, I went back now. I'm in a dream. I was like, I went back now. Send me back to my body, and I'll close my eyes in the dream and wake up in the bed or on the couch, wherever I'm at. And it'll be just like the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, where he closed his eyes and would open them. That type of thing. Jim Carrey has a lot of ME reference type of things in his movies. From Eternal Sunshine to The Truman Show and when you look at the snowflake on The Grinch, how it's falling very slowly, but in their existence, it's a tiny particle. Kind of like that snowflake that I was seeing the other day, a perfect 5-pointed snowflake that was like an orb as a snowflake, or a bug, or a small drone as a snowflake. But I witnessed some crazy things. But that snowflake on The Grinch, to them, and even in Horton Hears a Who, to them, a long period of time could have passed. But for us, outside of that world, it's a tiny particle. So for us, a short period of time is happening. It's just as it's falling. But for them, it is who knows how many years and years. Inside that snowflake is life that we can't comprehend, life that we can't see, because it's on such a micro quantum level. It's on a microscopic level. The macro quantum world that we see, we comprehend, but then when it comes down to that snowflake, like in The Grinch, that small snowflake, deeper inside of that snowflake, the particles deeper inside of there have life in them that, to them, a substantial amount of time passes by for them on their vibrational level, but for us, that's the way I've always viewed things since I was a child as well. In some existences, they vibrate at a higher rate. I talked about that when I was a little child. They vibrate at a higher rate. Their consciousness, and they vibrate at a higher state, so their energy, they evolve quicker, so their time passes quicker for them. So while us, we're still developing, and for them, they vibrate at a higher rate. So things happen quicker for them. But yet, even though the same amount of time has passed, more development has taken place because they vibrate at a higher rate, and their time has gone by quicker for them. I just saw something, by the way, speaking of which. I don't know what it was, but I saw something. But similar to the snowflake or the tiny speck on The Grinch or Horton Hears a Hoot, man, Jim Carrey has a lot of ME and physics stuff. He has a lot of deep and spiritual type of things. Stuff like that. But more time has passed by for that tiny little particle inside that snowflake than the few seconds it took for it to happen for us, basically. And that's what I view us like, really, in a way. But it's everything is so... I just wish that things could be better. I really do wish that. But I started thinking about all of this and wanted to share my dreams where I'm aware. The lucid dreams are quite interesting. And the dreams where I'm aware that I'm dreaming, and when I become aware of it, boom. I snap out of it. I go back to my body wherever I'm at. And I've been having more of a restless sleep where I'm aware of both states of like being awake and asleep, and then I go back to my body immediately. And when you... Well, I'll talk about more of that in another video, but I need to go ahead and end the video here. Peace, signing out. My links are below. If you'd like to show support, you can by PayPal. You can also email and talk to me if you feel like it. And send your prayers to Kelly. She's going through a rough time as well. And things aren't so great financially for us either. So if you could send your prayers for us as well, feel free to do so. But most of all, send your prayers to Kelly because she's going through a really rough time. It's not about me. It's about her at the end here. And it's about all of you as well. All of us living in this existence together. And, yeah. Definitely pray for her. She's going through a rough time. Sending love, everyone. Signing out. Peace. Much love. I'll see you all, or speak with you all later.